All right, so this week is week 7. It's the first week of Milestone 3. We're heading out strong, making sure that we reiterate on some of our core concepts so that everything's good there. Along with that, we had to refactor a few things, so we're working on that. It should be done, estimating, in about 1 to 3 weeks. So the milestone for where we're at, and at that point we should have 2 of our main core systems done and ready for implementation within the build. It won't be completely polished, but we'll have it for our minimum investment. Along with that, we have a few things that we're going to be working on trying to implement on the side. We're going to be doing some onboarding next week for the 8th week of production, so that's something we need to factor in when we're taking in our hours. So I'm going to let the team go through and tell you what they did this week.
I gotta move Santa away now.
Excuse me.
Brendan Lima, art. I did a mass unwrapping. I unwrapped the signposts, hanging signs, and the walls. Next week I plan to continue back on asset list for the interiors and exteriors, and that should be good.
Zachary Patton, artist. This week I worked on texturing and making multiple iterations for ground textures, wall textures, and environmental textures for the 8 designers. I also took care of texturing the, what are they called? I'm stupid, I'm sorry. Sign. I took care of the signs, and I got them all ready to go for the designers as well. I also helped Michaela with her unwraps, so that was fun on the character. And this week I plan on doing some alpha texturing and busting out things on the asset list that need to get done.
Alright, Peter Tibbles, lead designer, this week has been mostly level design, filling up the hub town with assets that I got from the artists. Going through next week is going to be most the same, just filling stuff in, making it look pretty and whatnot.
Connor Bish, designer. I basically created an entire list for all the animations we'll need when we record mocap, when those animations are going to be used in game, and how those animations are going to look.
Austin Meadowcroft, designer. I documented the combat and the node system and talked in length with the programmers about the node system.
Raina Pomisel, programmer. This week I worked on implementing the node system, building the drag and drop scripts to drag and drop nodes in our scene, in our UI thing. And that's about it. Next week I'll pretty much be doing the same.
Alright, Devin Garrett, programmer. This past week I spent it doing parallel development with Raina on the node system to create kind of 2 iterations that we're planning to combine to get a refined form for future parts of this project. I will be continuing on with this task, however, in this next week and for the rest of the semester I'm going to be swapping over to Gray Area to assist them with programming. And that's the only thing really that's gonna slow down my production on this project, is working on another project as well. But besides that, everything's going well.
Travis Bodine, programmer. So far I was just working on rebuilding the combat system, basically. Spent a lot of time talking with the designers and how building it how they wanted to, building lots of diagrams and whatnot, and with Chris. And next week I'm just going to continue doing that and actually writing out the combat manager and everything like that.
Chris Kuhn, programmer. This week I spent a lot of time doing documentation, talking with designers, and spent a little bit of time actually in engine working, building things, showing off. We plan on rebuilding a lot of our current combat systems to make them more smooth and fluid and run much more nicely. In the coming weeks, we're just going to keep on iterating on that, make sure it's exactly what we expect and what we want it to be. And then nothing's blocking me right now, just time and meetings and making sure everybody's on the same page.
Michaela Farrell, art lead. I was going to try and get all the texturing done today. Unfortunately, there were a couple issues with the UV wraps, so I got Zach's help with that. So it should be done by Monday. That's what I'm hoping to keep on track, but we'll see. I'm hoping to do animation not next week, but the week after that.
Overall, we're doing pretty well. It's a high intensity sprint at this point because we're trying to finish two of our biggest systems, so we're not going to have a lot of progress on that end. But overall, we're overcoming through the bumps and trials and tribulations pretty fast, so we should be good along with that. So that has been week 7 for our production studio cycle at this point.